this is Talking with Tutors, and we have Ntsiki talking to us today. How you go?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. We're talking about problems, the problems that entrepreneurs see, and they make a business to solve these problems. But what is a problem?
A problem is literally just looking at your community or wherever it is that you work and identifying gaps in the market that you can solve through a business, a product, an idea, service, whatever it may be, or just re-engineering something that's already done. So finding a new way, a more efficient way to do something that people have already been doing.
And where do I find these problems though?
I think the first thing is to remember that we live in a global world, so a problem can literally be absolutely anywhere. So you can look at your community, the way you travel to work, maybe once you're at work, the places you shop, the places you engage with friends, anywhere you go. Maybe it's something that you already use and you're just like, actually this thing is a lot of admin, and if I could do it this way, it would be a lot easier. And so goes the business and the idea of solving something.
But some problems to some people, it's a need, some it's a want. What's the difference between these needs and these wants that we have?
Yeah, I think we all know this, like basic NS, EMS, that kind of stuff we did in school. But a need is just like something you can't go without. So when you're thinking about people, it's food, it's shelter, it's clothing, it's the basic provision stuff that even if I don't have money at the end of the month, I will make a plan to make a way to make sure I can afford your service or your product. But a want is something I desire, like I feel like it, maybe it's like an add-on to my shopping list. I don't really need it to survive, but I would like to have it. And I think when you think about your business and how it serves the market, that's something very important to take into account.
So it's like chocolate can sometimes be a want.
Chocolate is always a want. Unless you're supplying like a coffee manufacturer, then it might be something different.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So let's say you and I start a business, you want to start a hair salon. Yeah. How do I make sure that the business that we have solves the problem that we have identified?
But I think you might see this as well. Sometimes you have a great idea, and to you this idea has to work, right? Because it sounds cool to you, it sounds fabulous, and you've gone the whole way of thinking about everything in between, and you have the bells and whistles, but you don't really stop to think about, does this serve a community or does it actually solve a particular problem? And if it does, do people really want to use it? Like, yes, it's great, I can have this kind of cover instead of that one, but do I really need like a waterproof cover or something like that? So really asking yourself is, if I introduce this product, this service, this particular experience to people, would it make a difference in their lives? And if it does, are they prepared to pay for it? And those are things you need to ask yourself. And I think a lot of the times when you're really excited about something, you skip over all of that. And you're just like, guys, use this, it's fabulous.
And can you think of any practical ways that when we want to do this market research, that we can do it to find out what the problems are and will people pay for it, etc.?
I think anything about a business, you go and you ask the people. It's as simple as that. If I want to open a hair salon, like you said, and we pick this particular corner, how sure are we that people traveling past this corner need a hair salon? Exactly. So we just go to that corner, we stand there, we ask people, like, if there was a salon here, would you come? What kind of hairstyles would you want to do? How often would you like to come? How much are you prepared to pay for it? Would you come here because it's easier for you to travel? Is it on your way home, on your way to work? Like, why are people buying from this corner instead of the next one? And as you ask some questions, you'll find that other questions pop up, because then maybe new problems pop up in how you would actually solve the problem, and that's really not the way to go about it. So the more questions you ask, the more answers you get, and the more people you interact with, the better you can understand if your solution to the problem or the perceived problem is actually a thing. I also just think asking people if the problem's actually a problem, because maybe in your mind you're like, I need a bridge here because I'm too lazy to walk around, and everybody else is like, actually we don't mind walking around, it's perfectly fine, I need the extra exercise anyway. So I think asking those questions sort of helps to paint the picture for you.
Sure, perfect. Thank you so much, Ntsiki. This was so
Thanks.
cool. We hope you guys learned something with us here with Talking with Tutors.